Hi everyone, Jan Fursden here from Fursden House. Just wanted to pop in and say hi to everyone and to thank you for all your support and all your comments. I love getting your comments. I think it's really neat when we can interact like that, and it's just really a lot of fun. And anytime I can help anybody, or if you have any questions or anything, please just let me know. I'm also going to show you what I'm working on now. I'm creating some of the ephemera for a journal that's been in my head for a while. It's kind of strange, but I've wanted to do one, and I thought, now's the time. So I have been creating all of this ephemera, and I thought I'd share that with you. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat, and he's having a lot of fun there, so I don't know if he'll leave soon. So I apologize for the coughing and the clearing my throat and everything. But anyway, let's just pop to it. It's the 12th of October here, and it's a beautiful, beautiful fall day. It got up to about 78, I think. And a couple hours ago, we had a nice little rain shower, and now it's just kind of overcast. So beautiful, beautiful weather. Of course, I like the rain, so, you know. So these are just, like I said, some of the things I'm working on. I don't have a clear a set pattern or anything to go with. I'm just sort of working on stuff, and that's how I frequently do my things, is it all comes together. So this is a pocket that I've been working on, and let's see, these aren't these sweet? The pictures in these are photocopies that I made of my original cabinet cards, and they're precious. What can I say? And this is using that die cut. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's by Tim Holtz. And if you have a question about that, just leave me in the comments below and I'll find out for you. But those would be, they're not completely backed because they'll go down into a journal, with the back gone. Here's another pocket, just some lace and one of my glue stick seals. One day I think I must have done like 40 different seals, if not more, in all different colors and stuff, just to get it over with. So I had a lot of fun with that. Just a little fabric snippet. And this is a large card. I bet you didn't know that. But I've sort of recreated it because it had some stuff in between here, and I cut that off and then moved that up, and so I just kind of played around with that, but I liked the look of it. And here we have some snippet, or some things that I made with leftover cardstock, or not cardstock, paper, tea-dyed paper, your offcuts, where there were a lot of these strips with, quite a few pages in them. And whatever project I was working on, I had to use the rest of it, but not this much. And I thought, well, I'm not throwing that away. And so I just literally sewed them right down the center, folded them over like this, decorated with little bits and pieces of fabric and paper and buttons. That's a vintage button. I love the ones with the original thread in it, and that one I think that's original thread. But anyway, you just literally pop this down over, you can do on the edge of your journal page like that, but I tend to put them in a portrait, what do you want to call it? Whatever. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you. Brain is just mush right now. So I probably shouldn't be doing this video, but oh well. I thought this turned out really well. I love this little bit here. It came from a vintage corsage of these little tiny velvet flowers, and you can see some of the little blue and white in there, and I just loved it. I still have a few bits of it left. It was in terrible shape, and I've managed to rescue it. And then this is some antique lace, and I think that's called tatting. Yes, that's called tatting. And then, just bits and bobs up there. There's that. And this is a new kit that I just recently purchased, a new digital kit with these tags here. And I just think they're really neat. And so I took some of my lace. I used a double thickness of it. I got this lace about a year ago, I think, at an antique mall. that's here in near us, and there were several different ones, and I was just gaga. I was so happy with them. And I still had quite a bit, and it was like they were practically giving it away. I was thrilled. Another pocket. It just comes up like that. And here we have a, it's going to be one of those 3-pocket things. You can see the back where you glue here, here, and here. And I hope I'm staying in focus, but maybe I'm not. And I just put some lace on the top. This is vintage, that's antique, and that, I think, is new lace. And then things will be just, you know, put down in there. I thought that was really neat. I'm very pleased with how that came out. Here we have, I did some of these earlier, where you just take a paper doily, and of course this is tea stained, and you fold it over till the edges either almost touch or touch, doesn't matter. And then I had already done these separate little snippets of fabric and paper and everything. And what I did was put a piece of acetate underneath, like so. Then I just glued these down, and it's made a really neat pouch. And what I've been doing is just sticking pages down in there, just folded up pages, and it works out really well. I love the look of paper doilies, but there's not a whole lot you can do with them, at least not that I'm happy with, because I'm picky. But that I was really pleased with. This is another one of my, I would say pressed flowers, but the orchids, this is a white orchid. They're not pressed. I discovered that you can't press orchids without them just basically dissolving. And so what I do is when they fall off of the stem, I take them out and put them in my CD sleeve and just kind of flatten them with my hand. Don't put any weight on it or anything, but just kind of, you know, get into the position I want and just leave it. And then a few days later, it's dried up. I don't, like I said, I don't seal it when I'm, you know, when I'm drying it. And then I can take it out, and in this case I took out the thing after it had dried, put in some lace in the background, put some lace here and some little shell beads, butterfly. So that will be a pocket either from the side or the top. I haven't decided yet. Could be a belly band, a horizontal belly band. Who knows? There's just no telling. And this little devil, oh goodness gracious, these are so hard to do. I mean, you wouldn't, well, I wouldn't have thought they would have been that difficult, but last spring, I think it was last spring, whenever, I managed to get several dandelion puffs. And you really have to be set up to to act quickly and not have any wind blowing anywhere. And so I managed to get them all between pieces of acetate, and then I just seal them up. And then of course the fun part comes when I want to add to a little frame, and nothing seemed to, it just didn't want to go for whatever reason. It was a gremlin, that's what it was. So there it is. It is from, I think it was from earlier this spring, I think. But I love dandelion puffs. My husband can't stand them, of course, because he says if you blow on them, then they get seeds all over the yard, da-da-da. And I said, yeah, okay, I got it. But if I'm going to have dandelion puffs, he prefers that I have them like this, under acetate. And this is the last thing I've made. I was kind of pleased with this, too. I had these shapes. I don't remember the kit that I got it from, but this came from a Jane Austen kit that I have had for ages. I just cut it out because I like the monotone. If you can, yeah, you can kind of guess what my color scheme is going to be. Lace and the same color scheme that you've been looking at for the last few minutes. And that was one of the things I had, so I just stitched that on there over some old lace. And I just made a little booklet out of it. Excuse me. This is a, what do you call it, a coffee filter. And then some applique, and I had another little house. Let me show you. So this house, okay, I've used it as a tuck spot, but it was like this, just like the larger one here. But I didn't want just, you know, the same thing. So I've used these, or this one, as a journaling card and stuck it in the front. And then some tea stain paper. Again, these are scrap bits of paper. I always try and save all of my larger bits of paper and stuff, and I always use them. I mean, it never fails. I'll end up having to use them for something. And then again, this is just, I've used it as a tuck spot. It's an antique postcard from Brussels, or of Brussels, I should say. So anyway, that's what I have been working on the last couple of days. We just got back from Texas from visiting my daughter and granddaughter, and had a great time there. And I'm just trying to kind of get back in the swing of things and enjoying the weather. Fall is my favorite time of the year, fall and spring, because everything, you can go outside and not die of heat prostration and or freeze to death. So that's why I love the spring and the fall. There we have it. I need to make some more of these. I think that's my last one. And there we go. So I hope you're having a blessed day. Take good care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.